Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Just as I came on to put on the updates, I took a look over here and I was looking at where they are marking things down. Now they've started to improve quite a bit, actually, particularly here. Oh, now that's gone. They're marking things lower. And like Apple's $1.50 lower, let's say. Amazon would be $46 lower, $45 lower. They're playing around with it. Google is down quite a bit. It's on the bid, it's down 90. So they're marking things down. I don't really have any news as to why. So I want to get into the technical picture here real quick, because if things turn, I just want to update the picture. So let's dive in. For as it stands right now, no changes. We are on the fence still whether the minor third actually completed here. Now, I'm going to go down right away to that hourly chart because I just kind of got to go over this as I left it yesterday. And then what has happened today? So let me see if I can get this open. Okay, so here we are. That is Friday's low. There is the massive rally. We continued to rally overnight, pulled back, and then started in what I would take as a C wave. So in other words, I got 5 up to be wave A, I got 3 down to be wave B, and now I'm looking for this one to just kind of go above that A wave, which it did, barely, and keep going, break here, and end up not above there, but actually, yes, excuse me, take it back, above there and as high as 12,900. But definitively looking for 12,350. So a decent rally, that's what I'm looking for here. Now, that would be under the view that the minor wave 3 did complete at last Friday's low at 11,491. If that is not going to be the case, and here's what would happen. So we got to look at this. I may be expecting that, but it could come in real low. And therefore, it would be a much different count. This would all reverse back out. This would become a 1 and a 2. Next step, drop into the abyss. And I mean that pretty strongly right now, that's what I would be looking for. And we get this, and it doesn't stop. There's just no, like, we got this, that gave us the clue we should go higher. But again, as I spoke yesterday, there aren't any major reasons for this thing to just kind of continue to build and force its way higher. It just does, in my mind, from what I'm seeing, just doesn't exist. So I got a lot of flack for that, but I'll tell you the truth, it's there. If you want to say this, don't tell me what you think is going to happen, because that's not what I can trade on tomorrow. If I traded on what I think it could happen, I might have been long from a way long time ago. So, I can't. So in terms of just thinking, if this thing turns and it drops, look, first of all, on an hourly chart, look at the moving averages. The only one that's sitting off by itself is the 200. Everybody else is all jammed and crowded right on top of one another. There's the 4, the 8, the 50, and the 20. 20's trying to crowd the 50 out of the way and get above it. Now, if that is successful in doing so, then yes, we have a solid chance of continuing this rally that they did after the bell, where they give funds and all those traders in the funds and in the mutual funds and in the funds and the ETFs and whatever else that they need to adjust, come in, and they just bought it, straight bought it. Pretty much after the bell rang, dipped a little, and then boom, 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 and off we went. And so I mean, these are all dark, right now the S&P is being quoted down 4. But I think it could be one of those where it's like, if it drops, folks, if the NASDAQ drops from here, breaks through all of this, keeps going, breaks that, and if it would have to then, you see, we got nothing really. This is a huge bar. So we next point, if it breaks that, 11,784 basically, then there's no additional. Our next support is 11,642, 11,545, and then we're at 14,491. Now, let me put on again the additional fibs that cover us on the downside. So I'm going to remove the upside. All right. Okay. Before I do that, it's just to show, come on, stop, that we still have a count that would take us higher. This hasn't switched yet. We're looking at both sides. So we have, first of all, the 8 at 12,100. Then we have 2355. Then we have the 20 at 546. And then we have 12,600 to 12,900 up in there. Okay, so now I'm taking that one off. I want to move this guy. And I am going to put on the extensions for the intermediate wave 3. That's going to serve us best at this stage because that's where I believe it is affected. So quickly go over and put these on. Oop, way up here. Sorry about that. 22, that's right. 68, that's right. Okay, so I love it. This one anchors. What we'd be looking for, if it breaks there, look what happens. Black hole, a big black hole. Seriously, folks, a big black hole. You're going, I'm all the way past June, looking back before June. I can go out to my weekly, it breaks here. Look at this. Look how far I got to go. I got to go out to September of 2021 for my next support level. So yes, we're doing a correction and we're correcting a minimum 2 years. So once we get down to here, we're just back to September of 2020, excuse me. And I'm expecting the entire finishing move to get us down to here before we get that big B wave that I'm talking about. I'm talking about a sustainable for more than a day, more than a week, likely more than a month move corrective. It'll be counter trend. The trend remains down. And as that's, if we get down here and we get a counter trend move, please understand, counter trend. That suggests that there's still another larger downside move that will happen. And that's out there. This is a correction that's going to take time. It's got to filter all through a lot of stuff. And we still got to move along in an economy. And we still got to get our reports. And we still got to do earnings. And we still got to do all these different functions that keep our country going, that keep the markets moving. So there will be plenty of trading. And again, play the moves. Play the moves. If you're a position trader, play off of the weekly. You can build an options position cleanly and manage your options position. So you learn how to do all of that. But just to buy and hold, or and for that matter, sell and hold, you're going to have to work it. You're going to have to work it down or work it up, whichever direction we're going. You're going to have to work the trades. Okay, back to this. On this weekly chart here, we sit again, folks, bing, bing. We have the, it's going to go there, at 11,609 is where the weekly 200 is now sitting. And you can see it went up, but it's cresting. This is a big boat, right? This is a big period boat that takes time to do that. It's like not going up anymore, but it's got a crest and it's got to do that. Because of how long term it is in scope, and then how long it takes for that to turn. Much longer. Even the 50 crested, caught a little bit of an updraft right here, et cetera, et cetera. But on a weekly basis, we got no changes on our moving averages. So back down to that hourly. Now, what can we expect for tomorrow? What can it look like? If we come up and we break 12,100, that would give a lot more support to this minor third being here, and then we can look for upside trades. Because I would expect that to be the direction that will prevail. So if that's the case, then we had that resistance at 12,100, 12,176, 12,300. And then we had, where 618 was, it's all below here. But there is the potential to kind of go up into these zones. And we had 12,900 and definitively up here towards 12,600. So that potential still is out there, but we're going to need some additional proof from the market that that's the intent. So again, when we get up to these levels, we're going to be paying very close attention to, is it a false breakout, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so we got that. If it switches and flips and it nosedives through these moving averages on the hourly, and then again, let's just see what might be in the way on the daily chart. Okay, on the daily chart, barely nothing. We got, it's kind of wants to go up and try and test the daily 8, not doing it. It did manage to close above the daily 4, no big deal. I could just retake that, and then we're just going to fall in line with the other markets. And then again, we just did the weekly. So we got that weekly 200. That's big in the picture. Now it's gone down once, tested it, and rallied strongly off of it. That was back here on the 9th. I believe this is the 9th. Maybe not. No, 99999. That would have been here. Yeah, right here. So it tested it, rallied, came back here, went down, and didn't break it. Oh, here it is, right here. Excuse me, I take it all back. On the 12th of May, it got to 11,689. Then we did a 4. Now, if indeed we did that 4, and that's not a 1, and this is not a 2, and this is not another 1, and this is not another 2. But for that to stay, for the 2 to stay in place, it can't break above 12,097. Cannot. Now, it could do it in an extreme and on a closing basis. If we get back below it, you may have to allow it. But strength will come if we get above 2,100, and they can keep going. They were looking, they were heading for that. I don't know if they had enough time, but they looked like they were heading for that this afternoon. So we got that. And we got all the resistance. And then we move into where we get some important numbers later in the week. And those are going to be tomorrow, PMI flash, new home sales. We'll see. They are marked red, so they are considered market movers. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Durable goods, though, I would expect to cause some type of a ripple one way or the other. We have minutes on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Why people react to it, I don't know, because we already know what it was, but they do, so expect something. More importantly, on Thursday, GDP and jobless claims. So we do have some goodies coming out. So I'm going to leave it all right there. We're still on the proving state, but at least we have a roadmap a little bit about if the market's going to go down or if the market's going to go up. And for those that want to question, because I'm not putting my stake in the ground and say this is definitive, it's because I'm not bullish or bearish. And I'm not going to turn bullish or bearish to suit somebody's wants. So this is the reality of the market, is that we're in and out and we're trading and hopefully having strong P&Ls to boot. In any case, next update will be on Tuesday, May 24th.